We are hours into free agency, and I'm already asking, what are the Bruins doing? What the hell are the Bruins doing? Tanner Jeannot, 5 years by almost $3.5 million? For what? For what? They make the Victor Arvidsson deal this morning, which I don't like to begin with. You're taking a $4 million cap hit for a fourth line guy, truly. And I'm thinking, okay, that gets them out of the Brock Besser sweepstakes. Yeah, no shit, because an hour later, they get Tanner Jeannot. You've got to sign him up for a 5-year deal. When there is a guy out there who racked up an impressive 13 points in 67 games last year, when there is a 13-point scorer out there on the market, you better get him locked down for 5 years. What the actual fuck is Don Sweeney doing? How does that make any sense? Now the Bruins shrink their cap space down to under $5.5 million for this year. And for what? For Tanner Jeannot. Oh, he brings a little bit of grit to that bottom six. You want to give him that for 5 years, man? What are we doing? He's had 1 year over 40 points. He's had 1 year over 30 points. He's had 1 year over 20 points. And the Bruins just locked him down for 5 years. For what? Because he'll get in a couple of scrums? Like, what was the point of getting rid of Trent Frederick when you brought in someone who was somehow even worse? This deal just makes no sense. What direction are the Bruins going in here? They want to perpetually be the Buffalo Sabres. They're spending money for what? You're giving a $7.5 million cap hit this year for Tanner Jeannot and Victor Arvidsson. You're not getting any better. And you're actually making yourself worse for the future because you bring in Tanner Jeannot. Next year's free agent class is absolutely loaded. And the Bruins are going to be shit out of luck because they're spending up to the cap for guys like Tanner Jeannot this year when they're not going anywhere. Don Sweeney had a good couple of months here. Good couple of months. Good trade deadline. Good first-round draft pick. And then this. And then Victor Arvidsson and Tanner Jeannot. Because the only thing that was bad in these last couple of months for Don Sweeney was the coaching search. You got a lame duck minor league coach after like 6 weeks. And this is it. Do you like the Marco Sturm deal now, people? Because you just brought in 2 Marco Sturm guys for $7.5 million that give you fucking nothing. How do you like it now? You like having Marco Sturm now? Because now you get Victor Arvidsson and Tanner Jeannot. Brock Besser goes back to a place he didn't even want to play in. Goes back there for $7.25 million when everyone thought he was going to go for $8 or $9 million, and the Bruins pivot to Tanner Jeannot? There's no way. There is no way that was your second choice. It can't be. And Tanner Jeannot, by the way, whoever his agent is, needs an absolute raise. Like, a couple years ago, Tampa gave up like an entire draft for him. And now he got a 5-year deal. A 5-year deal. Like, you actually can't be serious with that shit. You got two guys who combined for 40 points, and you're paying them $7.5 million. Vancouver got a guy that you let walk after last season for $7.75 million who gets over 40 points by himself every year. And the Bruins make it up in the aggregate like they're fucking Brad Pitt and Moneyball for a couple of guys with some grit who cannot put the puck in the net. Oh, yeah, we want to evolve offensively. That's what this team needs. So let's get Victor Arvidsson and Tanner Jeannot. This is a brain dead organization, man. I can't with this shit. You look at the 2026 free agent class, and I understand a lot of these guys I'm about to name are not going to make it to the market. But let's take a look. This is the 2026 free agency class. Connor McDavid, Artemi Panarin, Jack Eichel, Kirill Kaprizov, Cale Makar, Shea Weber, just kidding, Jason Robertson, Kyle Connor, Anze Kopitar, Marty Necas. And the Bruins aren't going to have that money available, even if they wanted these guys, even if they had a shot at these guys, because they're spending it on Victor Arvidsson and 5 years of Tanner Jeannot. Why don't they want a future? Why don't they want to have a future? Like, I know $3.5 million is not a huge deal in this new cap space, but why are you locking down Tanner Jeannot for 5 years? Was that the first offer? Like, hey, we love Tanner, 5 years. And fucking Tanner Jeannot's agent is probably crashing his car saying, yes. Yes. Like, this is a dude who should be getting 1 year, $950,000 in his prime. And you're giving him 5 years, 3.4 per year. You are bidding against nobody. And there's a great reason why. He fucking sucks. Oh, but damned if he's not going to push some guys around after the whistle, huh? Yeah, that's the grit you need. Boy, can't wait to see him on a line with John Beecher. I can't. Nobody can explain the philosophy to me and make it make sense. Nobody can. This is what you get. This is what you get when you say that Don Sweeney is going into a prove-it year. You give him an extension before he does anything in that prove-it year. And since then, he has brought in Marco Sturm, Victor Arvidsson, and Tanner Jeannot. You get what you pay for. The Bruins are paying for one of the most brain-dead front offices in the entirety of the National Hockey League, and this is what you get. Retool, not a rebuild. How about you do us all a favor and fucking rebuild and stop with this shit? Stop with the Tanner Jeannots. I can't believe we're doing this shit again. I genuinely can't believe we're doing this shit again. I saw it this morning after the Arvidsson trade. I'm like, that's a bad deal. I know it's a year, but $4 million for this kid? Like, why would you do that? And then Brock Besser goes back to Vancouver, and I say, okay, the Bruins are they're just coasting this season, right? They're probably not a playoff team anyway. They're going to get Hagens at the end of next year. They're going to have another decent pick, probably not Gavin McKenna, but decent pick, okay? They're going to have room in free agency if they don't do anything else here for next year when there's actually a really good free agent class, unlike today. And instead, they put their eggs in the Tanner Jeannot basket. And Bruins fans are probably going to like him the first couple of months because he's going to get in some fights. And he's going to, show the smoked bee or something. And then next year, when you can't get one of these premium free agents because you wanted to keep Pavel Zacha and Tanner Jeannot and Casey Middlestat, then how much are you going to love him? Then how much are you going to love 4 more years of Tanner Jeannot? And his, hopefully, fingers crossed, he gets up to 15 points. This is the most smooth-brained organization there is, man. I can't believe it. How are we letting Don Sweeney get away with this? How are we letting them get away with this? They're just making you worse. No talent, no hope, no future. That's what it should say at the bottom of these goddamn Bruins jerseys. No hope, no talent, no future. That's what you've got when you've got this guy at the helm. Oh, they're tough to play against. Oh, they're bigger. Great. Awesome. Florida wants to get grittier. They get Sam Bennett and Brad Marchand. The Bruins want to get grittier. They get Victor Arvidsson and Tanner Jeannot. Catch the fever. Boston Bruins hockey 2025-26. It's gonna suck again. 5 years of Tanner Jeannot. Give me a fucking break. What is this team doing, man? What is this team doing? Oh, so glad Marco Sturm scored that goal in an outdoor game 15 years ago, because it means now as an adult, I got to go pay the highest ticket prices in the entire league to go watch Tanner Jeannot. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you nothing but Bruins content the next couple of weeks, man. And this channel has been skyrocketing the last few weeks. And Don Sweeney, if he doesn't kill me, will give me enough shitty moves that I can make more YouTube videos and get a lot more followers. Only about 5% of you guys watching these videos are actually subscribed. So go subscribe down below. We're live on YouTube every weekday, high noon Eastern time, and then available wherever you get your podcasts as well. I'm Cam Stuart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air 5 days a week. That's it for this special edition. We'll see you tomorrow on the Cam Show.